Hello and welcome. My name is Craig Dennis, and I'm the sales manager here at Lucerix International Corporation. We are excited to show you this presentation of a new product we call PAD, the Pedestrian Awareness Display, a great new innovation that will reduce or eliminate city bus A-pillar blind zones. So, what are bus A-pillar blind zones? There are inherent blind zones commonly found in front of a bus. The driver's sight line can be obstructed by the structural A-pillar and, depending on the model bus, the location of the exterior side mirror. To illustrate, we have a rendering of a city bus about to make a left-hand turn. There's a pedestrian approximately halfway through the crosswalk. The shaded area represents the sight line of the bus operator. The problem is that due to the location of the vehicle's structural A-pillar, in relation to the driver's seated position, the sight line can become blocked. As a result, there are areas in front of the bus that become masked from view. The problem is nationwide. Transit safety and training spend a lot of time teaching the rock and roll method of driving. Drivers are taught to lean forward and backward, peering around the A-pillar, especially when approaching and then turning in an intersection. This practice is intended as a method to draw attention to the blind zone areas. Unfortunately, even with these safe driving practices, pedestrians can be blocked from view and accidents still happen. The ACU published in a member's journal, dated June 2017, an article that was entitled, "Workstation Initiative: The Top 10 Things You Need to Know About Bus Blind Spots, a focus on A-pillar and mirror blind spots." One pedestrian is killed each week in the U.S. from a bus blind spot accident. Up to 13 pedestrians are hidden from the driver's view by bus blind spots. To avoid pedestrian accidents, operators strain their backs, repeatedly twisting and turning to find an unobstructed view of an intersection. PAD was designed and developed to help prevent bus blind spot accidents, reduce liability, and ultimately save lives. We believe PAD to be one of the many solutions to be offered as a Vision Zero initiative. Okay, so how does it work? PAD features a forward-facing high-definition camera. The camera is fixed to the inside surface of the windshield. The camera twists locks into a plastic ring that is in turn fixed to the glass using an automotive specified 3M adhesive. With a simple tool, the camera can easily be removed in the event the windshield needs to be replaced. The camera is set up so that the field of view captures the blind zone areas that are ahead of the vehicle and in front of the A-pillars. The captured image is then corrected for scale and aspect and displayed on a custom 17-inch by 4-inch screen. The screen is mounted to the inside surface of the A-pillar so that the live image can be viewed by the driver. The overall driving experience is one that provides a composite panoramic image without blind spots. Those that have tested the system say it's as if you can see through the A-pillar. What comes in the kit? All necessary power and data cables, the main control box, which includes a built-in digital recorder, the high-definition camera with the universal windshield mount, the custom 17-inch by 4-inch driver display screen, as well as the 6-way adjustable A-pillar display mount. All plastic enclosures are manufactured using automotive-grade plastic. The display mount and display cradle are manufactured in machined aluminum and stamped steel. All metals are finished in a black powder coat. PAD has features that can be enabled or disabled. This depends on the end user preferences. Accessing feature control is done by using a Wi-Fi connection. There are permission levels. Each level allows for user full or limited access. The system is navigated with a user-friendly web-based dashboard as provided by Lucerix. Depending on the user's permission level, for example, managers can enable or disable the built-in digital recorder, the turn signal activation, as well as the driver sleep mode function. There are other basic system configurations that can be adjusted as long as the user has the appropriate permission level. This includes vehicle profiles, user profiles, the brightness control, and system health checks. There are two common operating settings for PAD. Number 1, PAD full time. PAD will power up and power down with vehicle ignition. As long as the vehicle is running, the PAD system is on. Number 2, PAD full time with sleep mode and turn signal activation. PAD will automatically power up and power down with vehicle ignition. The driver has a choice to leave the screen on or put the screen into sleep mode. There is a button located on the lower right side of the display enclosure. Press once and this puts the A-pillar screen to sleep. Image goes dark. Press it again and the image wakes up. So in other words, the screen comes back on. The sleep mode function is a driver comfort feature with one restriction. Let me explain. Depending on the end user's operating policies, some transit organizations require that the driver has the ability to turn the image on or off. Lucerix has come up with a way that the driver can put the display image to sleep. The one big restriction is that the display will always automatically wake when the turn signal is activated. Probability of an accident or collision is highest at intersections and crosswalks, as these are the locations where pedestrian traffic is at its greatest. With this in mind, PAD promotes that the blind zone image should always be on when the bus is turning. Okay, so here's the scenario. The driver has pushed the sleep button and the screen image has gone dark. The bus approaches an intersection and the turn signal is activated. Well, PAD automatically wakes up. If the driver tries to put the image back into sleep mode while the turn signal is activated, the feature is disabled and the PAD screen will remain on. When the turn signal is deactivated, PAD will then automatically revert back to the driver's previous setting. The speed or timing that the image returns back to the sleep mode can be configured during system setup. The factory setting is for 5 seconds. The built-in digital recorder. The built-in recorder is a valuable tool for accident reconstruction. The recording function can be enabled or disabled at any time. To make changes to the recording feature, the user requires a management permission level. Video files are saved using a loop format, 1-minute intervals up to 24 hours. Storage of these files are on an internal SD card. The SD card is not common knowledge and is not visible or accessible to the driver. The SD card can only be removed by opening up the main control box. As long as the recorder is enabled and the end user has the correct permission level, the previous 24 hours of bus running time is available for download. To access these files, the end user must also have the Lucerix PAD download software. Files appear in a list format and are identified by date and time. The user can select a single file or multiple files when creating a timeline of reconstruction. Important to note, if the system has been set to allow the driver to use the sleep mode function, this does not interrupt the digital recorder. During each video download, PAD automatically imprints a data overlay. The data overlay is added critical information that is merged onto the playback file. This includes file name with date and UTC stamp, the vehicle GPS location, the vehicle speed in miles per hour or kilometers per hour, and this is based on GPS signal, the monitor status, was the screen on or off, and did the driver have the screen set to sleep mode, the turn signal status, on or off, as well as the setting of the display brightness, and this is measured by a percentage. Backlighting on the screen is controlled automatically by a light sensor located on the display enclosure. The sensor is disabled if the driver decides to adjust the brightness manually. Also included with the overlay information is an imprinted red rectangular box. This red box represents the driver's display. This is what the driver saw at the moment the video was recorded. To explain further, the captured image for download is much larger than what the driver sees. In fact, it is the entire field of view of the camera. The red box is the zoomed and cropped area of the image that was displayed in real time to the driver. The box size and location on the playback file is very precise. This is exactly what the display screen was showing to the driver at the time of the recording. So how does PAD compare? The FTA published a report in March of 2016. This was based on the testing of 3 commercially available warning systems. PAD didn't exist at the time, so was not one of the products tested. The test was conducted in cooperation with TriMet, the Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon. The FDA printed in their summary, "The findings from this study indicate that warning technologies can make a meaningful and cost-effective contribution to pedestrian and cyclist safety, but more needs to be done to deal effectively with this problem." What's interesting is that more needs to be done. Before the conception of PAD, we looked at available technologies. Other commercially available warning systems use a combination of radar, cameras, and loudspeakers. They are designed to alert drivers of people or objects that fall within the proximity of the radar. The driver is alerted by audible tones and flashing lights. One technology even has a loudspeaker on the exterior of the bus, warning pedestrians that the bus is about to turn. It is our belief that adding more beeps and tones is simply adding more driver distractions. This is why PAD was designed not to distract the operator and is intended to be used as a passive driver's visual aid. Well, hopefully you have found this presentation of our pedestrian awareness display to be informative and has answered most of your questions. Why choose PAD by Lucerix? PAD is an important consideration and potential solution to a Vision Zero initiative. PAD will increase driver and pedestrian safety, PAD will reduce liability, and PAD will save lives. For more information or to arrange for a demonstration of PAD, please contact one of our representatives. Thank you, and remember PAD, it's as if you can see through the A-pillar.